Hi, this is Gregor from BassTheWorld.com, and these are the CALI76 compressor pedals by Origin Effects out of the formerly United Kingdom. Over my career, I bought a good bunch of compressor pedals because that's what you do as a bass player, right? And some were good, some not so, of course. But at some point, I thought I might need to look into studio compressors because that's what studios use, and this is a studio here, surprise. And I looked it up on the internet and found out that there are basically two compressors that everyone's using and that you will find in every professional recording studio. Number one is the LA2A from Teletronics, a tube compressor, and the other one is the 1176 from Uri, which is a solid state unit. The LA2A is rare to find and very expensive, and the 1176 is not so rare, and also there are tons of companies that make copies, which are of course much more affordable than the vintage units. So I got one of those, and this literally blew my mind when this arrived and I tried it out. I thought, this sounds so good. Why is nobody putting these units in pedals? Because that's what you also really want to use on stage if you already know what it sounds like. So, I wasn't really happy with my pedals anymore, to be honest. And next day, true story, I got an email from the guys from Origin Effects telling me, hey, we made these CALI76 compressors. These are 1176 units put into pedals, and I thought, okay, that was the quickest a dream ever came true. So they sent them over, and yeah, let's check it out. So this is, so to say, the mothership. It's the big one, and the main difference between this one and the smaller pedals we're talking about in a minute is that, of course, with smaller pedals you can't use the same circuits, you can't use the same transformers or whatever parts you have to use into a pedal. I don't know. However, everything needs to be very small and tight to fit in a small housing. Here, however, there's a lot of space, so when you look at the original 1176, this is a 19-inch unit, but it's not very deep. If you're smart at putting stuff together, you can fit it in here, and that's basically what they did. I guess it's very close to the original circuit because that's what it sounds like. And this particular pedal is, so to say, an upgrade version of the standard CALI76 because it has a Lundal transformer. I don't know much about transformers, to be honest, but that's definitely the main difference between studio units and pedals, because studio units are bigger and they have these big ass transformers, and as many other studio guys say, they add some sort of weight to the tone. I don't know what it means, but you can hear the difference when you even between those two. There's a probably the same circuit in these, but this just sounds bigger and fatter, and that's what I really like about it. So let's have a quick look over the controls. Here we have an input control, and this is also where you control the compression, because the amount of input gain fed into a compressor decides how much he will attack your tone, or take it down, or put it up, or whatever you want to do with it. Then you have an output control, which is the makeup gain, so to say, because whatever you set up the compressor, this will probably not be your normal gain level anymore. So you have the second one to get it back to wherever you wanted to have. Then you have two controls for attack and release. The attack one decides when the compressor kicks in at after what amount of time, and the release is when of course the compressor releases the sound again. So you can decide if it's a short snappy compression or a long compression to add sustain, whatever you want. And this one is the ratio, and this is the amount of compression. And this is measured by 4x1, 8x1, 12x1. 20x1 is the highest you can reach here. As a bass player, you usually leave it at 4.1 because we don't want usually too much compression. So that's where I would always leave it. That's where I leave it on the 19-inch unit we're using. So, and that's it. Controls on the compact pedals are basically the same that you find on the big one. There's just one difference. There's one knob, one additional knob you have on those. But let's start from the scratch. We have an input gain and output gain. We have again the attack and release. We have the ratio, and then we have a dry and wet control, which allows you to use parallel compression, which is really cool. Basically, you can have, if you like that, you put it to the middle, for example, and then you will have 50% of your bass sound will be your clean, natural sound as you would send it to your amp usually, and the other 50% would be compressed. And the nice thing about this is you can have a pretty much compressed signal, and when you mix it or when you blend it with the natural sound of your bass, the compression will not be that obvious anymore. And that's very nice to get your sound a little bit tighter without making it too obvious that something's crushing your tone together. So that's really nice. And this is the deluxe version. The difference between the deluxe and the compact bass isn't that big. It's basically just one thing. With the bass version, they put the attack and the release on one knob, which is weird at the beginning because it's things you want to move independently from each other. But the guys from Origin Effects figured out that there are often specific attack settings used with specific release settings, and they found just settings that go really well together. And as you turn the knob, you're always changing both, and it just sounds good. And the problem with the original units and also with the big one is if you don't know what you're doing, you can find or you can end up with settings that create some sort of distorted, weird, noisy sounds at some points, at some gain stages. With this, you can't. You're always perfect setup, so this is completely a no-brainer. And for the last knob they opened up, or they had three in this case, they added a high-pass filter, and this is really cool. It kind of works almost like the dry-wet, because with bass compression, you always have the problem that the bass frequencies and the treble frequencies and the mids have very different output levels. And with this control, you can tell the pedal, please don't care so much for the bass. Use your main thing mainly on the mids and on the treble, and this is really cool. Which makes this, I guess, the most versatile CALI76 pedal from Origin Effects. That's it. I hope you enjoyed a little video about the CALI76 pedals from Origin Effects. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. I will get back to you, or if you have really crazy detail, whatever questions, just email the guys from Origin Effects. They will happily answer you. That's it for today. See you next time, and have a great week. Bye.